My friend, after this workout thing, he driving in his car and he's like close to a red light, so he going slow. So I see him, he see me, we see each other, we looking at each other. And then he say that he loved me out the window loud. And I looked and I was like, who are you talking to? He was like, you. And he said something, I don't remember what he said, but he said he's gonna make a U-turn so he can turn around and talk to me. And I said, okay, cool.
Hey, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Motivation Nation, it's your host, Air Gordon. Look, man, I'm not going to waste no time. We're going to get right into it. This video was sent to me and they asked for and I did say our opinion. And that's precisely what we're going to give to them. So with no further ado, thinking caps on sale, pin to the top of the chat in the description. Let's get to the content. Thinking caps on sale.
So I met this guy. Famous last words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I meet this guy, and I'm walking down the street with my friend after this workout thing. He driving in his car, and he's like close to a red light, so he going slow. So I see him, he see me, we see each other, we looking at each other. And then he say that he loved me out the window loud. And I looked and I was like, who are you talking to? He was like, you. And he said something, I don't remember what he said, but he said he's going to make a U-turn so he can turn around and talk to me. And I said, okay, cool. So, whatever. Me and my friend waiting. He parks his car. He has a really nice car. Not a normal nice car, a really nice car. So I'm like, he a street pharmacist. This is what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm spotting all the red flags immediately. He gets out of the car.
Hey, ma'am, I don't want to stop it this quick, but he yelled out to a complete stranger that he loves you and he's going to make a U-turn. That right there was enough. You should have taken off running. But he had an extremely nice car, so you had to see what this was all about. But the fact that he yelled it out the window off the muscle should have been a red flag for you. But anyway, I don't know how this is going to end, so let's see where this goes. But off the muscle, you should have not entertained this, but let's keep moving.
He's very nice, respectful to me, like whatever. And he ends up saying, one of us asked, he says, are you single? And I say, are you single? And I'm like, he's like, well, he says he puts his foot in his mouth a lot, but he said, I've never been in a legit relationship before. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, but it's
so
this.
I was like, I didn't ask you that.
Are you single or not?
I didn't ask you that, but this is where men tell on themselves with me. The Holy Spirit makes them tell on themselves.
No, ma'am. No. You asked him, was he single? And he gave you a roundabout answer to throw you off the scent. Oh, let's go right back to that. I heard you. Are you single? This is a yes or no question. You have to clarify what's going on when you're talking to people. Otherwise, they'll put you in a spin cycle and confuse you. And then you end up regretting your decision later on down the line because you weren't clear from the beginning. And it seems to me like she wasn't clear from the beginning. Let's move on.
Fails. God will never, I am never getting deceived again because God will not allow it. Okay. So he basically says, like, it in so many words, it feels like he was saying, you know how people say what's understood don't need to be explained. Means they in a relationship with somebody who don't want to be with them, or they in a relationship with somebody that already got a relationship. Just some type of stupidness, you know what I'm saying? So he says something like that in so many words, and I say to him, I said, "Oh, I don't play games." So he was like, "Oh, I'm not playing games." Whatever. So he asked to get my number. Says he wants to take me out or something. Whatever. So I give him my number because it ain't nothing to block nobody, right? So he FaceTimed me the next day.
Okay, ma'am. This is riddled with, okay, so you said the Holy Spirit, you brought God into all of this, right? But it's like all of the signs are there. You don't need anything externally. You have to look at what someone is saying to you, and you have to look at the evasiveness of the questions that you're asking, and they're evading the answer. So that tells you everything that you need to know about this individual right now. But the part of this that you're not explaining is that you were intrigued by this individual because of the type of car that he pulled up in. So you want to see what he actually has to offer. When the spidey senses within you are already telling you something ain't right. He's giving you a vague answer. What's understood ain't got to be explained. And you're saying he's basically telling you he has a woman, but yet and still you give him your number. You give him the correct number. You can give him 10 digits. It doesn't have to be your digits. But no, you give him the digits because you're still, and you say you want to give him a fighting chance. No, you want to see what it is that you can sift out of this. So no, let's not bring God into this. Let's not bring the spirit into this, because none of that has anything to do with this situation. This situation here is you want to see what you can get out of this individual potentially, because there was no reason to even proceed any further than this initial conversation with him. The moment he yelled out he loves you and making a U-turn, you should have been sprinting away from an individual like that. In traffic, get out of here. But anyway, let's see how this goes.
Immediately, he gets to him basically, he like, how many kids you got? It's not like that, but like we have a short whatever conversation that he says, how many kids you got? Or do you have any kids? And I said, I don't have any kids. But before that, he had asked for my Instagram. So he had already seen my Instagram, liked my pictures and everything. So you see what I'm about. You see I love Jesus. You see I ain't got no kids. You see I travel a lot. You see I don't cuss. You see I don't drink. You can see all that on my page, okay? So if you deep dive enough. Anywho, I look at his page, I immediately see a child. So I'm like, of course he got a child. Like, I can look at people and tell that they got kids. Like, immediately. I already knew he had kids. So from what I could see, he had two, right? So he asked me if I had kids. When I first talk to somebody, I like to just talk to them. I don't normally hit them with 50, 11 questions. The only question I will ask is, are you single? How old are you? And that's it. I don't need to know right this minute that you have kids. I don't need to know none of that stuff. I just need to know that you are single, okay? So he asked me that out the gate. You got kids? I said, no.
Well, that's the problem right there. I mean, before you proceed forward with anything, you need to have more questions than just, are you single, as your really only line of question. You had two questions. Ma'am, before you move any further with anybody, you should have at least a few questions to ask someone to disqualify them. Otherwise, you're going to continue to waste your time with a bunch of different men. If you don't have qualifying questions from the beginning, you're wasting time. I mean, think about it. When you go for a job interview, there's a specified amount of questions right up front to see if you can qualify for the job or not. And if you can't answer these right, then it's no need to move any further. But if you're just fielding everybody who talks to you that alleges that they're single, then you're going to stay in a situation of confusion and unable to discern, because you don't actually have a path that you're trying to go. So that's why you don't have any real questions to ask anyone. So now you're just taking what's coming and trying to see where it goes. And that's not going to be the road for a healthy relationship of finding the person that you're actually looking for. You got to know you first, and then you got to know what it is that you're looking for. But this isn't an individual who knows exactly what they're looking for. So it's like, whatever looks good at the time and says the right thing at the time, I'll give it a chance. That's not a recipe for success when you're dating. But let's let her finish. It's only got 19 seconds and then we'll wrap.
No kids. And then I see on his page that he got kids, but I'm like, how many kids do you have? Do you have kids? I was like, I know you got kids. Or I said something funny like that. He said, I didn't really want to talk about that right now. Like, I didn't really want to get into that.
So yeah, that's the end of the video. So we're gonna stop it there because that's the end. But we're just gonna do our little recap real quick. Hey, listen, just know thyself. Know thyself. She seems like an innocent enough young lady. She seems like she's potentially just looking for the right man, but you have to understand what the signs are when the wrong man approaches, and just fielding and giving every individual that approaches you a fighting chance. It's not going to be conducive for you to find the right person. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to have a guideline. You have to have a framework of what you're looking for in a person, based on where you are in life and where you're trying to go and what your particular goals are. And if an individual fits within that, then that individual is someone that you can give a chance. But without guidelines and without a framework for your own life, it's going to be very difficult for you to find a suitable mate. But that's just my 2 cents. Jump down in the comments. Let me know you guys' thought on this. And until the next video, that's it for this video. I will see you guys out.